Today on Black Hollywood Live's Breaking Into, we're talking sexiness, Sacramento, and the soap industry with Donnell Turner. Next.
You are tuned in to Black Hollywood Live's Breaking Into.
Ain't nobody loves me better. That's right. That's right. Thank you, Shaka. Thank you, Rufus. This is Breaking Into here on Black Hollywood Live. I'm your host, James Lott Jr., and I'm so happy to be here today with you guys to bring you another wonderful person on my show who is just a great guy off camera as he is on. You've probably seen him in commercials, episodic TV. He's been around a while, but right now he is steaming things up as Curtis Ashford on General Hospital's, ABC's General Hospital, and I'm so happy to have him here with me today. It's Donnell Turner.
Thank you very much for having me, James.
How are you?
Good to see you, man.
Good to see you too.
Yes, sir.
So yeah, actually, I was looking at your credits. You've been around a while. I mean, I saw you the other night on Girlfriends.
Oh man.
I was watching my TV, relaxing, a glass of wine, and there you show up.
Yeah, Girlfriends. Wow. Let's see. I moved to LA in 2001, and I think we shot that in 2004.
Yes, you did.
And man, that was like the first on-camera national thing I had ever done. I got to work with Tracy Ellis Ross
Yes.
and Monique, and they picked me to show up and just be handsome guy.
Yes, which makes sense. That makes sense to me. You look the same as you did then now.
Oh.
I mean, like, you haven't aged a bit.
Oh, brother, thank you.
I'm like,
thank
hello.
you. Been many tears since that day in this journey, but it was fun. It was a blast, and Tracy Ellis Ross was great, and I'm happy for all her success. She was really gentle.
I heard she's a super nice person. Like I said, I've kind of met her at a few different things, and she was always very sweet.
Oh yeah. I just the ideal co-star.
And how was Monique?
Monique was a comedian. She was on all the time. She was Monique.
Yes.
I didn't see Precious. I know all about it, but
I
don't know if it was that much of a stretch. But she did a lot of things that made me sweat and uncomfortable. And I think, I guess I look back today and I can say thank you because it just toughened me up.
Well, I was gonna say, so a situation like that. How do you handle situations like that on different shows or movies or whatever you're on? How do you kind of navigate through that?
You just, one of the things I believe in is faith unshakable. And I believe in my product.
Ooh.
And so regardless of anyone else and any pitfalls or roadblocks, I just believe in me. So that was just a step in my journey. Mm-hmm. And so when she said or did little things to make me the punchline, you just roll with it.
Yeah. Because
I knew that was a sign of things to come. I knew that if I couldn't make it at this moment with no lines under the lights,
right,
then this probably wasn't the industry for me.
How did you get Girlfriends? How did it come to your orbit?
I was picture picked.
Oh, really? So really was handsome guy number one. They're like, we're going to pick somebody who looks good.
Yeah, and that shirt I had on a burnt orange
I loved it back
shirt, black pants. I even went and got the burnt orange tie.
I know, I loved burnt orange back in the day.
You couldn't tell me nothing. That was my go-to outfit. You might have even seen me up in the club in the early 2000s in that outfit. And other ones because that was my go-to outfit. So when they said show up and be sexy, I thought, let me just grab that outfit and rock it.
So, I mean, it was a picture. I mean, like, they literally went through probably tons of pictures and said, him.
It was an honor. Mm-hmm.
And so when you go in, do they interview you after that? Or you say, pick a picture or just say, we still want him because you have no lines. We want him to do...
Well, at the end of the day, you're still background.
Yeah.
So there's no trailer. There's no special treatment. It's just stand over there and wait till we call you.
Yeah.
And then on the day, okay, do this, but don't say anything. And so it's hurry up and wait.
Yes.
Be ready. There's no makeup. There's no, so the way you look is the way you look. So when they pick that picture, you better look like it.
Wow, interesting. Have you ever had a situation where you look different than your picture? Like your shots were done a while back. They pick you out and you're like, I have a goatee now, or I got a flat top. Like, did you have any that kind of situation happen?
Oh yeah, especially now that the grays are creeping.
Oh, I understand that.
Yeah,
I do.
I see you rocking them.
I do.
So I'm just trying to let the grown man show a little bit that gray. There's a lot of pictures out there with no gray.
Yeah.
And there's there's pictures posted of me from 10 years ago with my shirt off, and that's a lot to keep up to.
Well, that's actually a good point because, I mean, our bodies do change.
Man.
Period anyway.
Yeah.
But and as we get a little older, it gets a little harder sometimes just naturally to keep up what you look like in your 20s and 30s or whatever age you are. It's just kind of hard to keep that up.
Yeah, in hindsight, maybe I wouldn't have taken so many pictures with my shirt off in my 20s.
Okay.
But now that I'm, in my, I'm a man of a certain age, I'll say.
Yeah, it's a man of a certain age. That's fine.
It's a little harder to get going and to get the body to look the way it did back in the day. But at the same time, I love health and fitness, and so it's not that far of a stretch. And thank God for muscle memory.
Okay, that's right. They say you do it once, you can go back.
Yeah.
Just bring back into. But what do you do exercise wise? What do you do?
One of those things that people don't know about me is that martial arts has always been part of my life, one way or another. And I started when I was 10.
Wow.
And it was in tournaments at 11.
Wow.
And so I knew I had a gift when I had cleared everyone out in the tournament, and the final match was against a black belt when I was a yellow belt in Taekwondo.
Oh, my God.
And that was a draw. So I knew I might have a future in that.
Oh, wow.
And
you
then
held your own.
Held my own. And then MMA came along years later, but I was watching it early on, and I thought, man, I want to do that. But it conflicted with Hollywood.
There you go.
Didn't want to nose over here.
Ooh, no.
Cauliflower ears. And so
Yeah.
I was careful with my approach, and maybe I didn't do enough or as much wrestling as I wanted to, but I kept up with the kickboxing, and I'm just one of those guys, man. I'm rough and tumble. I did a knife combat class a couple of summers ago.
Wow.
Knife combat is amazing. It makes you wonder, why would I ever throw a kick?
Oh, how funny. Okay.
Yeah, I graduated first in my class in shooting.
Oh, wow.
So I was an armed security guard for 4 years, doing high-risk security. I wore a vest, wore a gun, the whole nine. And then I thought, and my mother questioned me, that's not why you moved to L.A.
Right.
And just because you can doesn't mean you should.
That's
type
true.
of thing. So I thought, well, maybe one day I'll be blessed, fortunate enough to show that off on camera as opposed to
good points. Have you ever heard the show? There was a show on, I forgot what channel it was on. It's called Top Shot. It was on a few years ago. Great show where they actually had shooting competitions with different guns, different ranges, different things. And it was a really fun competition show. It was a lot of fun.
Sounds like it.
I really enjoyed it.
Is it still around?
No, I don't think it. Oh, that's a good question. I don't know. Folks, you can tell me if it's on. I'm not sure. I forgot which channel it was on, but I caught 2 seasons of it, I think. It was really interesting. I mean, I recently held my first guns ever.
Okay.
And I was in Memphis at my niece and nephew's place, and he has a whole gun case and humidifier and all this stuff. He's ex-military, and so he basically he seduced me, so to speak, with the guns. And I didn't shoot yet. I haven't shot. I want to do it. I haven't done it. I come from a law enforcement family. I haven't done it. They don't want to give me a gun for other reasons. But I saw he explained them to me. Like as I held them, explained how to hold them, what they can do, the beauty behind them, why they have this over here and why that's over there, and partly. I mean, I really was seduced by it.
Absolutely, I think everyone should at least do it once. I think once you feel the power and the potential from a gun, it might make you think twice to use it.
That's what I was thinking.
In a moment of rage or whatever, you might think twice. And so if you've never held a gun, you've only played video games or played with toy guns, you see a real gun, you're angry, you might use it. But if you know what they're capable of, you're less likely to use it in that.
Good point.
In my opinion.
What has your martial arts experience brought to you in terms of your acting today?
Confidence.
Okay.
Confidence. Discipline.
Okay.
And those are the two things that jump out right away. It's comforting to know that you can defend yourself. Okay. And I know there's a key to every lock, so I'm not saying I'm invincible.
Right.
But that confidence, it means that I can endure certain situations. And at the end of the day, acting, you may fall on your face, you may be embarrassed, but you're not getting kicked in the face. So that kind of puts things into perspective.
I like that metaphor. I like that. Because you chose a profession, and so have I, that aren't stable.
That's right.
They really are by choice. I mean, I feel like, or they choose us, I guess, however you look at it.
Right.
because we are this, the thing where it's, we just had the Oscars last night and a lot of talk about diversity. So we're two black men who've chosen a profession that wasn't started by us or anything. You know what I mean? So I mean, what are some of your thoughts? Not about the Oscars or anything, but just like in general, as you've navigated your way through this industry as a black man, what are some things you've learned?
Well, before answering that, I'll say before I moved to Los Angeles, my mentor, a very wise man, challenged me. He says, "Why are you moving to Los Angeles?" Okay. He says, "People move there for one of two reasons, fortune or fame."
Interesting, okay.
And I've never been, I never wanted to be most popular, and money has never been my motivator.
Okay.
So right as I got ready to say, well, I do it for the art, he stopped me and says, don't give me that you're doing it for the art, because if that was the case, you'd stay here and do local theater.
Interesting.
And then he challenged me further and says, what makes you different from every student in every acting class,
oh my God,
every university, every junior college, in every state, every city, every state in the country, what makes you different?
Okay.
So I couldn't answer that right away, other than I'm me. I believe in me. Mm-hmm. And so that kind of just, I never lost that question, and that motivated me. What makes me different? There are tens of thousands, maybe hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people that want to do this. And then he also says, you're getting into an industry that has a 99-point-something% unemployment rate. Mm-hmm. And for black men, for black people, 99.7 or something like that. So we have a 0.3% chance of making it. And maybe I'm stubborn, maybe it's whatever, but it's that unshakable faith that I spoke of earlier.
Yeah, you know that. And that's what's carried you through this whole time. Just like, I know I can do, this is what I want to do, this is what I'm called to do. Mm-hmm. Just going to keep doing it.
And then also that the martial arts had a very, very loving and supportive family that told us we could do anything.
Okay.
And I watched my mother overcome certain things and achieve what she's achieved. And so I had incredible role models. And then my brother, he was successful as a singer in the early 90s. So I saw him achieve the...
Your brother? Who's your brother?
He was in a group called Dirty Rotten Scoundrels.
Yes, I know that group.
Yeah, DRS blew up pretty big.
Yeah, I remember that.
Gangsta Lean.
Yes, that's what an interesting connection.
If you YouTube that video,
yes.
If you look closely, you will see a young Donnell at 19 years old.
Oh my God.
It was the only time I ever shaved my head completely bald with a razor blade. I won't ever do that again, by the way. Very painful growing back.
Yes.
And my brother wrote this song and brought me along, and they just picked me randomly to be the featured guy who shoots the guy in the beginning. So I got to ride in a 6.4 Impala and mix it up and ride that ride with my brother. So from 92, 93, 94 was a roller coaster.
Yeah.
So I thought my career was about to take off then. Whoa, was I a little off base.
And when it doesn't, how'd you feel when it really didn't? When you figured out, it's not really, I'm back kind of where I'm at.
Yeah, I thought because I had a music video, my brother was number one, Billboard number one for 7 weeks.
Yeah.
I thought, this is it for me. And when it didn't happen, I got angry.
Okay.
And then so there was a little bit of an angry Donnell walking around Sacramento thinking that, my time should be any minute now.
Yeah.
And in Sacramento, if you've done a music video, that was big stuff. I mean, not everybody, but a lot of actors do theater.
Yes.
But only few of us had made the television screen. And then even fewer of us were recognizable.
Yes.
And so
I was in Sacramento that time period. You were there. I was there. I was living there.
Whirlwind. It was crazy. And then we learned a lot about money and how things work and how they don't work. And you can have the number one song in the country.
That's right.
And still be driving a Datsun B210. That's just the reality of it. And so you pull up to the stoplight and you hear somebody bumping your song.
Oh, how funny.
And they're in a Mercedes and you're just trying to hide your face so people don't see you. Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. I had a Hyundai Excel. 89.
I wanted one.
I had one of those. That's so funny. Yeah, I was there that time. I was in Sacramento that time because it was them, and then I remember there was Sacramento, and then also parts of the Bay Area were starting to blow up with Timex Social Club, and Vogue came out. It was like all these people were starting to kind of Club Nouveau. They're all starting to come out. So I do remember that. I remember that time period.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so funny. I mean, so that was kind of like your probably big first kind of come down from having the highs of it. So you got to see kind of both sides of it early on in Sacramento. What is Sacramento? What do you carry with you about? What about Sacramento do you carry with you out here in LA? Is there anything you carry with you?
Well, Sacramento taught me a lot about supporters and the people who are not supporters.
Okay.
So I think what they say now, haters. Well,
Yeah,
I learned a lot about that. I played basketball, and there was, a lot of opposition. Sacramento taught me a lot about the small town feel, even though it's not really a small town, but compared to LA, it is. Yeah, it is. Let's be real. And so I just learned how that pendulum can swing both ways, man. The same people that will exalt you and praise you will also condemn you. And so, but I got love for Sacramento. I mean, my niece and, a lot of my loved ones are still there, So I still have a lot of family and friends up there.
I'll be there this weekend.
You'll be there this weekend. I can't wait to go back. I can't wait to see everybody back home. And
That's right.
And just
the River City.
Laugh and Yeah, I really used to like the Kings back in the day. Back in the day.
But now you're.
I got my Kobe jersey.
Yes, so you're Lakers. You're Lakers. Yeah, he's in LA now. He's in LA now.
I've been here 15 years.
Yes, I will be in Sacramento for my granddaughter's birthday. She turns 11, so very excited.
Wow, okay.
So I got to take her somewhere nice, I guess. Be a good grandfather.
Where would that be?
In Sacramento. Actually, the food scene has totally changed. Really? In Midtown especially, there's some really great restaurants. The Citizen Hotel was on The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills a couple years ago. There was a restaurant called Ella that's really good. It's upscale and it's good.
I've heard of it.
It's really good. And then further down, there's Luca, which is a great Italian restaurant on J Street. So there's actually some good stuff there.
Wow. I only remember El Fornaio.
Oh, yes.
Yes. Oh, also, I used to do dinner theater on the Delta.
Oh, Delta King. Oh, my God, yes.
That was awesome. Funny story, we were doing dinner theater, and then afterwards all the players went to go have dinner. And everybody was talking about their backstory. Oh, well, I've done this, I've done that. One lady said I did background in a Patrick Swayze movie.
Great.
So in the LA hierarchy, that put her up
yeah,
there.
a little.
And then I had my, DRS video, so that put me a little, because I had a little more to do. And then we started somehow, after dinner, we had a few drinks, and we started doing impressions. So back then, don't call me on it now. I know. Let me
preface it to tell me, yes.
I used to do a mean Neil Diamond.
You can't do it now, really?
Yeah. I didn't expect to bring this story up, so maybe after a few drinks.
Okay, that's fine.
She says, a week later, Donnell, you did such a mean Neil Diamond. I'm gifting you with these Neil Diamond tickets.
Wow.
So at the time, my basketball career had just ended because I had ruptured my Achilles.
Okay.
So I was on crutches. And I went to a Neil Diamond concert on crutches.
How fun.
I might have been the only black dude. What do they call it? I was a fly in milk.
I like that.
However, I had a blast. I didn't realize how...
He's a performer. He's a total performer.
Oh, man. He had the stage turning. He didn't have to do much. He was addressing everyone as he sang. I mean, the women were going crazy.
Oh, I'm sure.
And, I don't know how many brothers like Neil Diamond, but I'm one of them.
Okay. Hey, I like that. Yeah. Did you do anything with the B Street Theater with Timothy Busfield? Did you do anything over there?
I wanted to. Okay. I wasn't accomplished enough. The word was back then you got to be SAG.
Yeah.
And nobody knew how to get SAG.
Yeah, I was just curious, because I remember he used to walk around town and he started theater. I remember the whole thing.
Yeah, I did a lot of plays at the Chautauqua Playhouse.
Oh, okay.
And it was, okay, great, but have you been to the E Street Theater? No, not yet. I'm not SAG. So I almost want to go back just to do.
You should at this point. Yes,
theater.
Why not?
Great.
Oh, actually, good question. So when you were eligible and you got your SAG vouchers and all that stuff, when you became SAG, and now I know it's called SAG-AFTRA now, but how did that feel for you?
Oh, it was like no more Girlfriends episodes.
Right.
No more being on TV and not being heard. I get to talk now. Mm-hmm. It just took 6 years after that.
Hey, 6 years. It was right on time, right?
Yes, it was.
You know what I mean? It was right on time. Maybe
you
just weren't ready. Maybe the universe knew you weren't there yet.
My acting coach in Sacramento, she used to be a casting director here in L.A., allegedly. And she was very, very straightforward. I believe it from her personality. Okay. And I said, I'm going to move to L.A. I was 21. And I was riding the heels of my brother's success, feeling like I should be doing more, feeling privileged. She says, I said, I think I'm going to move to L.A. I'm going to just jump in. And she looked at me without missing a beat and says, you'll get eaten alive.
Wow.
And I thought, well,
Okay.
what does that mean?
Right.
What are you trying to say? You know, I do well in your class, and I'm a responsible,
Right.
sharp dude. What are you talking about? So now I reflect back on that, and I think she was right. I would have got eaten alive, man.
At that age, yeah.
Yeah, at that age. I give all respect to the young people out there doing it who
I know.
achieve success, the Justin Biebers and
Yeah.
Selena Gomez. Whatever mistakes they make or have made, I probably would have done that 10 times greater.
Yeah.
So-
I'm very happy that there was no internet back when I was in my 20s.
Ooh, brother, right?
I'm very
Ooh.
fortunate there was no internet.
Me too.
And there were very little pictures. I found a few in a box once, like, oh, those will stay at my house. Yes, we'll see those. Yeah, we were very fortunate. So those folks are out there doing it now, and it's everywhere. I mean, there's Twitter, there's Snapchat. It's insane.
Yeah, it really is. And kudos to them that are
Yeah.
keeping their head, because who knows? But
Yeah.
I think she was maybe a little more accurate than I wanted to believe at the time.
I had to learn as I got older, and maybe this is part of my coaching. I had to learn that things happen when they're supposed to happen for you.
Yeah.
We all have our timetables. We have our inner timetable.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm going to go to LA, and in 6 months, I'll be on a TV show, and I'll be famous.
Yeah, if you ask anyone that knows me when I first moved here, I put myself on a 5-year plan.
Okay.
I said I got to be selfish for the next 5 years. I got to
Okay.
go hard. So I counted the days. I still have my journal. And I counted 1,875 days. And that was my 5-year plan. So those that knew me in the first 5 years of me in LA, they'd say, hey, what day is it? You know,
Oh, how
I'd say,
fun. Okay.
Hey, this is number 372, you know.
Oh, wow.
Day 615. And they would laugh. But I have a good friend who's been with me since day one here, or month one in this town. And he always said, man, I knew that you were different. You know, you counted your days, man. You put yourself on a plan. You counted your days. You wrote in your journal. And I always said, watch what everybody else is doing and then do something different.
Right, exactly. How important is the village?
The village?
I say it takes a village to raise me. I believe in a village, and my village are my fans and viewers. My village are, you're part of my village, your publicist is part of my village. I mean, everybody's part of my village, the manager, everybody's part of my village who enters my orbit. So how important is that for you?
I think it's incredibly important. We can't do this alone. You know, you need a strong support system. Your parents, if you don't have that, surround yourself with forward-thinking, positive people. I was raised to believe to always maintain healthy association. That's not to say I always did,
Oh, well, you know.
but I try to, and especially now. And even if that means being by myself, I would rather that than unhealthy association.
I always bring up village because we're black folks, and I always believe we come from Africa where the village was important. You respected the elders, and you lifted up the younger ones, and you're in the middle. And I feel like for me, I have older parents, and I have kids, and I have grandkids. Like, we're part of the same village mentality. I feel like in America, a lot of times we have gotten away from that. Especially as black folks, like there's that one slot for that one black person, so we gotta fight each other to get that one spot. Instead of, why aren't we kind of working together to make 10 slots for all of us and work together and celebrate the one who gets that, maybe gets that one slot, celebrate them, and hopefully work together.
You know, it's that crabs in the barrel mentality for a lot of people, and sometimes we just can't watch someone else rise without pulling them down. And so I do try to give back as much as possible. But yeah, it takes a village, man. It's no man is an island unto himself.
So Sherry Freeman, who is in the chats, hello, people who are watching, she wanted me to tell you that I thought you were absolutely amazing just as an actor and looks, but listening to your interview changes that. Love your intelligence. Not sure if this is seen or questions can be asked. I'm seeing this right now. How much of you, personality-wise, do you bring to your characters, especially like Curtis? It's a good question, Sherry.
Great question. I bring a lot of me to Curtis.
Cigars? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, the cigars. No,
Drinking coffee.
You know, I feel like the heart of Curtis is consistent with mine. I mean, I think whatever boundaries he may cross or whatever, there's
Yes.
still a good-hearted dude there, and that's Donnell. I mean, I have a good heart. I may have crossed a few people in my journey who hasn't, but
Right.
you know, what do they say? I'm trying to make an omelet, so sometimes you got to crack a few
Hey,
eggs.
it happens sometimes. Yes.
And only the strong survive, and we're swimming with sharks here in this town. So, you know, I think that's what makes Curtis dynamic, if you find him dynamic, and that's just because there's a lot of Donnell in him. It's
Yes.
again, it's not who I become because I'm playing Curtis, but who Curtis comes because I'm playing him.
Ooh, I like that. Ethel, who's a longtime GH fan, told me to tell you hello.
Hey, Ethel.
She's Ethel, know who you are. I know who you are. You're on my
Ethel?
Yeah, she's like watched it the whole time. GH out on there, and she watches GH Report, which he was on last week. He was on our show. That's why we're talking a little more in depth with him this time. So we're talking about General Hospital, which. Oh yes, you told us that was the one soap you watched, and now you're on it. Can you just explain to these viewers how that feels?
It's surreal. It's incredible. It's serendipitous. It's you know, you just don't expect it to happen that way.
Sure.
You pray for a lot of things. You pursue a lot of things. A lot of things don't go your way, and when something does go your way, you're grateful. But then when it goes your way and it's what you wanted, and it's been 20, 30-something years in the making, it just makes it that much sweeter.
How do you handle the pace of soaps? Because I mean, they're like, okay, now block it down and we do it. I know in the old days they had like 5 or 10, cue cards, 5 or 10 takes. I know nowadays it's not even like that anymore.
It's not like that. You know what? I had a brain cramp the other day on set.
Oh, okay.
I had done, this was Wednesday.
Yeah.
I did 6 pages, no problem. I had 2 paragraphs left.
Just couldn't get it.
Man, I could not get those 2 paragraphs.
That's so funny.
I don't know how it's going to turn out on the day, but you might get 2 takes, maybe 3.
Wow.
I might have needed 7.
Wow.
Yeah, it was embarrassing. I apologize to everyone. I was, I'm my own worst critic, so.
As we all are a lot of times.
Yeah, man. And so I took that back to my dressing room. I was real beat up, and the director, she was great. She came to my room and just assured and reassured me that everything was okay. And it happens to everyone. And I think the perfectionist in me, reassured her that that's not going to happen too many times.
Okay. He just said, he's like, next.
Yeah.
What do you say to actors who are like, I wouldn't do a soap? Like, I don't know, soaps are just like, cause that happens. Nowadays it's getting less and less, but it does happen. Once James Franco came on General Hospital, it was like, that's great. And he was totally all about the soap. So,
Yeah.
what do you say to people like who kind of say stuff like that?
I was one of them.
Oh, okay. That's honest. Okay.
After the 20 years ago, I used to write to be on the show. Once I moved to LA and I saw that, there was this hierarchy, soap actor and then TV actor and then film actor, and everybody wants to be a movie star.
Yes.
I also used to say, I will not do commercials.
Oh.
I used to say clearly, very distinctly.
You make money from commercials. What's that? That's crazy.
Never been money driven.
Oh, that's true. That's right. That's true. Okay.
And so I used to say, man, I don't want to be known as the Dr. Pepper man.
Oh, how funny.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And no offense to Dr. Pepper, I just didn't want to be that guy.
Okay.
I wanted people to know that I'm a thespian, trained, craftsman. And, man, you get here and you realize how hard it is to get on. You see all the competition.
Yes.
I remember my first restaurant I went to in LA. I went to Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
Have to.
And I saw 2 or 3 brothers that were just stunningly handsome. The muscles,
Oh, yeah.
the hairline, and they had me by 10 years younger than me, and I thought, oh, wow, I'm never going to work in this town. I better get what I can. And that's not to say I got desperate.
Right,
I still was, standing firm to, I'm going to stay in class, and I'm going to be an actor, and I don't need to pitch any products. And then one day, I just humbled myself, man.
I was going to say, that's what it was, wasn't it?
Yeah, I had to humble myself and realize what it was. It's exposure, it's money in your pocket, and it is a step. It can be. And so in 2009, I went to an audition, 12 in the afternoon. They wanted me to shave. I didn't.
Oh, okay.
And I booked Coors Light
Oh, funny. Okay.
And they said, please don't shave your beard. Please don't shave your beard. We really like it. I said, don't worry.
Wow. You're like, I'm not going to. So, yeah.
And man, from there, it has not stopped.
See, you stepped out of your own way. And that's funny.
Did. Man, that's well said. Yeah. Stepped out of my own way.
Stepped out of your own way. And then stuff started coming in. I agree with you. You just said something that was really important. Anything can be a step. It depends on how you work it, or how you view it in a way, or how you really make it work for you. Because anything, a soap, a commercial, a modeling gig, anything, you could turn it. I mean, this job I've turned it into all kinds of stuff because of this job.
Absolutely. And soaps, I quickly changed on the soaps. I thought, man, that's stability. That's a chance to win and gain wonderful fans and put a little money in my pocket, but more importantly, hone my craft. And so for me, it's like theater. It's like I get a chance to work every day on my craft. And then what comes from this remains to be seen, but I'm incredibly thankful.
One of the things that we talked about a little bit on the General Hospital show we did was that you and Anthony Montgomery, who plays Dr. Andre Maddox, another black man, who's been around for a long time too. He did Star Trek and everybody, all these things, been around for a long time too. What's funny is that you guys are kind of bucking the trend of, let's say, the interracial thing happening. I've done polls on Twitter about who you guys should be hooked up with, and folks are just, they don't care about your race.
I know.
They're saying he looks good with Rebecca Buddick's character, who's Hayden, who's white. Or Andre looks good with Anna, Finola Hughes, who's white. I'm like, they like it, and you both look good with Jordan, or you look good with, Brittany Sarpy, who plays Valerie. I love that right now, that it's kind of like you guys are transcending just your color. They're seeing you guys kind of as just sexy, not sexy, but like sexy actors who have chemistry with no matter what the race of the co-star is. And how's that feel for you?
That's amazing. I was told early on that interracial relationships don't work in soaps.
They don't usually.
They usually don't, I guess. I don't really care. I just like, let's just mix it up. Let's just have fun. Doesn't matter. I like where I'm at right now. And wherever this road takes me, man, I'm ready. Yeah,
I think it's really great. As a longtime soap watcher and a black man, I talked to James Reynolds, who's been playing Abe for 100 years, and he's such a great guy. And he just talked about that, how he was one of the first, and he was just on soaps, just having him just on a soap.
Yeah, he was.
And seeing a brown man on a soap who had like leading storylines, it was like a major thing. Now we get to the point we don't have to worry about that so much now.
Right.
There's a bunch of you guys running around on General Hospital.
There is.
I love it.
It's kind of fun.
Because African Americans make up a large soap audience. How many of us were raised by aunties and grandmas and...
I just heard Bo Jackson on TV saying that he learned how to cook because he has a cooking line out. And he was saying that his grandmother or his mother taught him how to make cornbread.
Okay.
And he would watch General Hospital and make cornbread every day.
Wow.
It was like that jumped out. I was like, wow, Bo Jackson watches General Hospital.
Oh, see?
He might know me.
He might.
What up, Bo?
What's wrong, Bo? Bo knows.
Bo knows.
So I brought it back, everybody. Brought it back. I love that. I like to ask my guests the same two questions that I don't prep you guys. It's just I ask you and you give me what comes to mind for you.
If I was a tree, what kind of tree would I be?
Exactly. I almost said it to somebody the other day. It was kind of funny. I'm like, I'm not Barbara. I don't do that. No, I believe in my motto, and I always write it I actually wrote it twice by accident, but it's pay it forward, lift each other up, and share knowledge. I wrote pay it forward twice, but pay it forward, everybody. Pay it forward. I believe in language. And I believe in language really can affect how we navigate through life. And so my first question to you is, in the English language, what word do you think we should take out?
Can't.
Okay.
That's the first one that jumped out.
I like that. And expand a little bit on that. Why can't?
If I listened to can't, I wouldn't be where I am. And I think anyone successful would say the same thing. It's just one of those crippling, debilitating words that just stop your momentum, they stop your drive, and maybe that would be, that's the word that jumped out first. Maybe that it's just negative and ugly.
It is. And now on the kind of converse of that, what word do you think we should be saying more in our vocabularies?
Should I say can? No.
You could.
I'm going to be driving home going, I should have said.
All my guests say it too. I love it. I was like, that's why I ask these questions.
Oh, man, that's great. Okay, on the go. What word more of? You know,
Yeah, I love it. That's why I don't prep anybody. It's like, this is something I'm kind of curious to see what you start to think about and what comes out for you.
Yeah, the word that, here's the stall tactic. Repeat the question, please.
What word do you think we should be saying more in our vocabularies?
Thank you.
Well, that's a good one.
Thank you.
It's very underrated, I think.
I agree. And, I say make sure Curtis says thank yous in the script, even
funny.
when they're not written.
Oh, how funny.
And I touched on that when I was doing AfterBuzz. It's just one of those words, man. I think we have to be careful to be thankful and grateful for things. And some things, I see it all the time in Hollywood. Someone will do this and get a cup of coffee and they'll just keep talking. And,
Oh, I know.
I've seen, child actors finish their cup and just do this. And then you got 5 adults coming in taking it from them. And it's just, it doesn't take much to say thank you.
It doesn't.
It doesn't take much to say. And if you really want to add to it, please and thank you go a long way with me.
Yes, I'm a manners kind of guy myself.
Absolutely.
I also believe that people should be nice.
Yeah.
Nice should be the norm.
I agree.
It really doesn't cost anything to be nice.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. No, you don't get a cookie for being nice.
No.
It's just you start there.
Right.
And a lot of that gets lost in this town. You were talking about this town, how competitive it is, and yeah, it just.
Yes.
Well, I have a million thoughts right now. So it's kind of getting jumbled right now.
I love it. Yes. I'm loving bring him up. I love it.
There's enough. The analogy I use is there's enough sunshine for everyone to get some sun. So just because you're laying out getting some, I don't have to hate on you. I can just go over here and get mine. And I really believe that. Maybe there are not a lot of jobs in Hollywood for people of color, but if you just do the work and put your head down and it's what you love to do and hone your craft, what's for you will be for you. And so, yeah. So being nice and not hating on others, I just think that's just, that's a normal thing.
It should be normal.
Should be normal, I should say.
And I like that analogy, the sunshine. It's a big sun out there.
Yeah.
Getting all of us.
Yeah, why would I get mad? Because you're getting a tan.
Right. I'll get a tan too. That's fine.
Yeah, I'll get mine.
Yeah, I'll get mine.
One way or another.
We're determined. I'm getting a tan. I swear to God, I'm getting a tan.
You threw me with that question.
See, I love it. I love it. That's what I do here. It's like, this is some little fluff piece. We actually talk. We have a conversation. And we'll have to have you back, of course, and we can talk more about stuff.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for coming on my show. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
This is great. This
Now,
is great.
we'll
Is
have
it
to have you
over?
back.
Are we done? We're done?
For now.
For now. All right.
Now.
'Cause
So now you're doing some charity stuff. Actually, mention that.
Well, I just went and visited the lovely children at the Shriners Hospital.
Oh, good, okay.
Last Tuesday. I was fortunate enough to be a part of that with General Hospital, and met some incredible kids with incredible disabilities and incredible strength of character.
Oh, I'm sure.
And the parents too. We can't forget the parents because I had a long conversation with some of the parents, and both of their kids had disabilities, and the smiles on their face and the joy in their heart, and they were thankful and grateful to have us there. Most people didn't know who I was, but they were thankful that I was on a show and I took the time to go play with their kids, and we made cupcakes and crafts, arts and crafts, and we painted, and it was really awesome. And so between that and there's Autism Speaks is coming up. I'm pleased to be a part of that. I was asked to be a part of it, and it'd be my honor. You wouldn't even have to ask me. I would love to participate and lend my time. And I'm really about the kids.
That's great.
I like the kids. So whatever has to do with the children, I'm all for it.
We need to do that. They're next.
They are the future.
I said I didn't want to say that.
I know.
Okay, Whitney, I'm sorry.
Teach them well and let them lead the way.
Really, but it's so true.
Also, let me just turn the page real quick before you let me go.
Yes.
I am a published author.
What? Wait a minute. I did not know that.
I am published. I won a poetry competition.
Oh, wow.
So I did spoken word for a lot of years. So I have a really nice little poem that maybe one day I can drop for you guys. And
how long is your poem?
I could streamline it because it's 2 minutes and 30 seconds, and I can streamline it. Yeah? You want to hear some of this? It's kind of like what we were talking about.
Yes, do it.
Black people, We attract people. There's no need to act evil, jack and smack people. We're not a whack people, so why do we lack equal respect for each other? We're quick to disconnect and disrespect when we should attitude check and come correct for one another. See, back in the days, if you were too dark, you heard the jokes from your friends, but today, dark skin is in. But what about skin that is light? Some people think we're not quite as black because our skin is closer to white. But we already know from the beginning melanin has been our friend. Our foes are those Joes who suppose our skin can't win. That's when our ingrown skin tone hits home and gives us our flavor. What takes from that flavor is not trying to love thy neighbor, and yes, a hater. Now think about this, James. Can you relate to a mind state that can just hate someone based on how much they make or whom they choose to date? My fate shouldn't lie in the hands of another man. And on the other hand, no man's fate resides in me. Besides, we see far too many examples of disharmony when guys with pride subscribe to genocide. Again, aside from the fact that too many black people act like crabs in a barrel. Or we'll claim one eye's on the sparrow, but the other eye stays on the other guy. I pray when our mothers cry daily and nightly, 'cause it may be or might be their son or their daughter being knocked up, socked up, locked up, or shot up for no apparent reason. The surprise demise of my kind is never out of season. So I stand here as a man here pleading. Let's not forget about our seeds and what they be needing and where we'll lead them and what we feed them, so they can grow to stop this ludicrous cycle of lunacy, or we are soon to be doomed to be extinct. And it stinks. And the casualties of casually made me think. Every day we erase a face from our own race. Now that sounds absurd to me, and then some words occurred to me from a verse I heard from an MC who encouraged me to show them and enlighten them by writing them this poem, and or quote him when he said, I never, ever ran from the Ku Klux Klan, so I shouldn't have to run from a black man.
Oh my God, that's good.
Mic drop.
That's it. That's how we're going to end it there. Donnell Turner. That was the bomb. That was good.
Thank you.
That was
more.
really good.
Thank you.
That was really good.
I did not expect to do that here, buddy.
See, that's like on my show, I get people to do things they don't expect.
I'm saying.
I love it. Thank you very much. Tell folks where they can find you.
Man, you can find me at on Twitter, Donnell Turner 1. Instagram, Donnell Turner. Facebook, Donnell Turner. Watch me on General Hospital on ABC.
That's right. And you can follow our Facebook page, Breaking Into You. And, of course, I'm Black Hope LA on Twitter and James Lott Jr. everywhere else. And we will see you next time for another Breaking Into You here on Black Hollywood Live.
From executives Kevin Undergaro, Dario Kristen, Tiana Hobson, and the entire BHL staff, we would like to thank you for supporting Black Hollywood Live, the first online broadcast network dedicated to African American entertainment. For questions and comments, contact us. info@blackhollywoodlive.com. Like us on Facebook, tweet us, or Instagram us at BHL Online. And I am the official voice of Black Hollywood Live, Scipio, Instagram me at KingXOBay. Thanks for tuning in. The views expressed here are those of the host only and do not necessarily reflect the views of BHL or its owners or principals.